I never thought I would enjoy festivals. So that's why I didn't go to any for a long time. Because I couldn't see how just having a lot of fun could facilitate my journey of realizing my life purpose and walking and embodying my vision. And I don't really even enjoy psytrance music that much. And this fast, heavy electronic music is not really resonant with me. I'm more kind of the guy who enjoys sitting around a fire with a guitar, maybe some drums, and chanting some mantras. But I was wrong, because I get a lot of value out of going to festivals. Not just psytrance festivals, but like these conscious festivals in general. And I think it's a fantastic movement. And in this video, I want to share why I went to Azora, why I went to some festivals, and why festivals have made it to the list of things that I really want to do each and every year. And my decision-making process for deciding on if I want to go to a festival and also which festival I want to go to is kind of relying on my clarity, on my path. Because I have this clearly defined life purpose and a clearly defined vision and clearly defined core values of mine, which can help me filter through a decision of, is this festival that I might want to go to that is presenting itself aligned with my path? And that's a truly deeply meaningful process that I go through for myself regarding this decision-making process. And I help psychonauts clearly define and discover and actualize their life purpose and their vision for themselves, so they can live in alignment with who they truly are. If that speaks to you, there's a link in the video description regarding my offer. Check it out if you're interested. So this process of decision making, of why I go to festivals, includes also a lot of different categories. And in this video I want to present 7 or 8 different categories that I look at when I see of what I look for in festivals, why I go to those kinds of places, why I spend time and money and awareness and consciousness in those kinds of places. Number 1, I think it's good to break out of routine every once in a while. It's really good to have this kind of novelty, to break out of the day-to-day and to have this extraordinary experience, to break out of this day-to-day slumber, which can seem like it's always the same, right? So to go out and have this novelty of experience, to break out of routine and to break out of patterns, to open up to new perspectives, to new experiences, is one big part of why I enjoy festivals so much. I think they're a wonderful place, which leads me to the second point, a wonderful place for deeper self-discovery, for deeper realignment with yourself, right? Asking yourself in those kinds of places that are extraordinary outside of your routine is like, how do I want to be? How do I truly want to show up? If I can be as I want to be, and if I can do what I want to do for the whole day, for the whole week, what do I truly want to do? What's aligned with myself? Is it that I just want to kind of, I don't know, get out of my mind and just blast myself off with some drugs to numb myself and then go back into my normal day-to-day? Or what is it? What am I searching for? What is it? Why am I here? How do I want to show up, right? On a day-to-day basis. Do I want to keep my structure? What kind of eating habits, sleeping habits, meditation or yoga routine habits do I want to keep doing during my time at being at a festival? Do I want to integrate them further? Or do I want to consciously break out of them for a little bit? Or if I haven't integrated them in the first place, what am I interested in learning here? What am I interested in discovering about myself here? This is a beautiful opportunity I find for myself, being at a festival, to ask myself those questions and come to a place of deeper realignment within myself. To see, what am I doing with these 24 hours that I have here on this wonderful ground of being in a festival? I think that's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. Number 3 is seeing friends. especially of those bigger festivals like Ozora, for example, I know that there are many people from all over the world that I know. From all my travels, from all the festivals, from psychedelic conferences, from meditation retreats, from ayahuasca retreats. I know many of those people are at some specific festivals. And instead of me going out to all kinds of places, like 40, 50 different places to visit them at their homes, it's like a coming together of this tribe of like-minded people. And I know there are so many of them at specific festivals that I just truly love to reconnect with them. So yeah, here at Ozora, I've, for example, met over 50 different people that I haven't connected with for 2 or 3 years, and that is just like, it's a beautiful reconnection with some people I truly appreciate and enjoy spending time with. The fourth one is a big one, maybe even the biggest one. It's new connections, building new connections, making new friends. And that's an interesting one. That's a big one, because you can be sure that at some festivals there will be a lot of people that do not resonate with you, and that you're like, oh, I don't enjoy spending time with them. Inevitably, there's gonna be a lot of people just like taking drugs, trying to get high, or I don't know, like that's something, nothing wrong with that, but that's something I'm not truly resonating with. But also you can be sure that there are gonna be people who are absolutely amazing. And when you connect with them, they could open doors for you that you couldn't have imagined being possible for yourself otherwise. At least has been what it's like for me, right? At those places, at some specific festivals that also speak to this psychedelic culture, to this movement, to this kind of evolution and revolution that is happening in our culture, I can be sure that there are some very interesting people hanging around in those places. For example, this year's Ozora, there was someone who is bringing this project into life called DMT Island, where they have like independent research in the Caribbean for DMT research, for and permission for all kinds of psychedelics to be produced and to be used for research purposes independent of academia. Meeting this guy who's bringing this project into life. Wow, thanks Carl, amazing, right? Also, another person just giving a talk about the neuropharmacology of psilocybin. Just connecting with this person opened a lot of doors for me to build other connections, right? To really get involved in this network of amazing people who are taking action in this world, who have a fascinating, inspiring vision for their life and for this movement that is happening. This movement towards higher consciousness, towards a more loving society. That's amazing, right? And also, I've met this other guy, last example, who is bringing transpersonal psychology and spirituality together in conferences, founding conferences, giving talks, having connections to Dzogchen masters who are giving ayahuasca retreats, right? Those kinds of connections are invaluable for my path. And I just love to go out and to just talk to people who might be very interesting for me, and then meet them with an open heart, with an open mind, with a genuine curiosity, and with a willingness to provide value to them, to support them in whatever ways is fitting in that situation. And it's wonderful. They are rare, but they are there. And that's the biggest part of why I join these festivals, why I love spending time there. These new connections that are opening up amazing opportunities. And also, what better way to connect with those kinds of people, with a PhD person that is a role model of yours, than at the dance floor. Both just being a little bit involved in a psychedelic experience or whatever, right? What a better way to connect with them, just to dance with them and spend time in this festival setting. I think that's fantastic, right? Also, new connections can open up doors for accessing psychedelics, which are quite rare, right? More exotic psychedelics that you might be interested in but do not have access to, or you don't know how to access them. There are people who know how to access them in a good quality, Don't just buy some from a random dealer who's dealing with coke and meth and heroin and LSD at the same time. And those people usually do not have 5-MeO DMT or whatever. But there are some very interesting people who have access to high quality psychedelics. It's a big one. And also new connections. I like to be in that role as well at festivals. Just for people who are not as far on the path, who can get great value from my life experiences, from my knowledge about this field. And I love to facilitate some small dose Changa experiences outside of the festival a little bit, or just share my wisdom, my knowledge with people who find great value in this. And I love to just provide and be there for people, just as other people who are further along the path are there for me, right? It's this whole chain, and I really love this. I really love this. So that was the biggest one. Part number 5 of why I go to festivals. It's education. Opening myself up to new perspectives. Usually at those festivals, there's like a little place or many different places where there's presentations happening, talks, which are presenting new ideas, which are interesting. I have to be honest, most talks I listen to are not that good. So there's a possibility to listen to a lot of talks which do not resonate or do not bring in any new perspectives. That's just the name of the game. But also there are some that are really, really good. And the interesting thing with the education and with the presentations that I listen to is it just needs one insight from one talk that can change your entire life, right? Just really let that sink in. One insight can change your entire approach towards a specific area of interest. And that's amazing. And there's a high possibility that you'll gain 1 or 2 or 3 of those insights when you listen to some talks from really interesting people who are doing great work, right? For example, one was, I listened to a presentation about health. And there was this idea backed up by research that if you look at your diet, you can connect your approach to food to your blood type. Looking at your blood type and then looking at the research regarding your blood type of what your body can process and what your body is not able to process. That's huge. I have never heard of that approach before, and most people I talk to, or almost anybody, has never really considered that possibility. So that's opening up a huge new field. Also, this guy who is founding the DMT Island, Carl H. Smith is his name. Greetings, brother. I love you. Good to be connected. And he is talking about techno-hyperhumanism in consideration to this movement of transhumanism. And it's just like these really interesting ideas. And this concept of techno-hyperhumanism is just like a big one that I haven't really considered before, that hasn't been in my field of awareness. And just to get familiar with this was absolutely amazing. Great value getting out of this. And then even connecting to those people, giving those presentations, mwah, right? Great value I get out of this. Number 6, experimentation and open-mindedness, right? Just like exploring and being open to new kinds of music, really experiencing maybe on LSD a little bit of high-tech music, really feeling into different styles of music that I might not resonate with in my sober state. I have seen some amazing performances, amazing like drumming and techno combinations, or just like even live concerts, which I enjoy most, from people who have been playing the drums like no other or playing the mouth harp like no other. It's like amazing stuff. Being open-minded to discover new things. Not just music, but also workshops. Crafting a little bit of pottery, or I don't know, making some food, or going to a breathwork session or some kind of activity workshop regarding a medicine wheel. So many great opportunities at many of those festivals of new things to try, of new rituals to discover, of new perspectives to discover. This is a great part and a great value I get out of festival experiences. And number 7 is art. I just really deeply enjoy art. It's kind of weird that this is a reason why I go to festivals, but it's like I do truly appreciate just being on LSD and going into an art gallery and just immersing myself in art for hours and hours and hours, and all these little details and crafts. I'll expand on this in my trip report video on where I share my experiences, my psychedelic experiences that I had at the Ozora Festival this year. You can watch it right here. So, at number 8, it is fun. It is fun. Why? It's the music, the dance, shaking it off, being loose a little bit, right? Not being so serious. It is a reason why. It's the core reason why many people go to festivals. It's one of my last ones, my most like small ones, but it's a big one, right? Of you don't really have to get anything out of this experience. That's what I tell myself as well. It's like I can allow myself just to be loose, to let go a little bit, and to just enter this magical place and this magical setting, this magical experience without any expectations. I've cut out the word expectations from my vocabulary because it implies the potential for disappointment. So no expectations, just letting loose, having fun, play, just jumping into the mystery, letting go, surrendering and enjoying with all these things in mind, in the back of my mind, right? All the other things on the list that I mentioned of why I go to festivals, but not having expectations to meet friends, to have new connections, to find a workshop that resonates, to have a new insight at a talk. All those are just possibilities. I'm not craving or attached to them, right? But just like, I know that there's a potential for this magic to unfold, and that's why I go. But without the expectation of gaining anything out of this experience. That's the key part for me. That's a key insight right there, right? And that's about it. That's about it. And then after this experience, magic is unfolding and I try to integrate the insights of why I go there, and then I see what is happening and how I can implement these insights and these connections and these experiences into my life. And one of the most powerful ways I've found is coaching. So if you're interested, as I mentioned in the beginning, of figuring that out for yourself, defining a life vision, a life purpose for yourself as a psychonaut that is aligned with the most authentic version of yourself, with who you truly want to be, how you truly want to show up, and then making that the foundation for your decision-making process for going to a specific festival or a specific event, and filtering that through your core values to really be aligned in your decision and intention of going to these kinds of places, then you can check out the landing page. Link is in the video description. Let's connect, and if this resonates, I'm more than happy to help you on this journey. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all.